Hello, lovely people. I am Ravi Verma. You're watching Free Stuff. Happy Holi. Hope you all see the colors in my hand. I had blasts of Holi this year. Glad I was able to spend a lot of time with my family and friends. Hope you all had great time too. Now, coming back to Free Stuff. Today's topic, as I had discussed it on my Insta and on Facebook, that I'm going to talk about something called as D&K. Well, it's not known as D&K. That's something that just to confuse people, I put it that way. It's known as Dunning and Kruger effect. It's named after David Dunning and Justin Kruger, two scientists who have conducted tests on people with competence and try to judge how they themselves rate their competence in terms of how well they did their exam or how well they did their tests. So with that, this effect is something that I would like to explain with a story of a guy named MacArthur Wheeler. MacArthur Wheeler was a normal, common guy who kind of looked at things and believed it. And I don't know if he watched some kind of Discovery Channel or something, or some movie from where he got this concept of invisible ink, right? Lime juice. Lime juice happens to be invisible ink. So what happens when you write with lime juice on a plain paper and then you take in front of the heat, when it absorbs heat, the letters start to appear. Otherwise, they are not visible to anyone. And that's what caught his eye. And what he did, he put lime juice all over his face and he went on to rob banks. He was successful in robbing 2 banks. And he got the money, he got out of the bank, he went to his home, went on doing his course. Unfortunately, the cops by evening caught him. And while interrogating him, he kind of spilled it, and he told people that he couldn't believe that the camera was able to catch his face. And the funny thing is, while he took the money and came out of the bank, he looked at the camera and smiled, thinking that the camera will not be able to catch his face. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, and he was caught. While he was this case was being discussed with the cops, everybody was puzzled and they thought he was stupid of, I don't know which magnitude, but they all thought that way. And this story caught attention of our genius scientists, Mr. David Dunning and his apprentice Justin Kruger. Then they did some tests on a group of people and then later interviewed people who gave the tests. A certain group of people always thought that they gave brilliant tests, and a certain group would always think that, okay, there is scope of improvement. So they kind of took that test, took that results, analyzed it, and then again after 5 years they came back and did the same test. Unfortunately, the results were exactly the same. People who didn't do good in their tests thought that they did brilliant. And the people who did brilliant in their test results thought that there was room of improvement. And that's called Dunning and Kruger effect. In normal life, and why I'm talking about it now, the classic timing of this is because right now we are in the zone where every organization will go through performance discussion. This is the time when we prep for performance management, and this is the time when everybody in the team will be looking up for performance management. They would be looking at discussing with their manager about what great deeds they did past year, and then you'll have a discussion with them at end of the year, which is in a couple of months. Majority of the organizations are going to go through that, and I think this is the right time I should speak about it and maybe help you all to kind of classify some of your members as affected by D&K, Dunning and Kruger effect. Let me explain what happens with or a better explanation through a graph, right? So we have our axes, drawn on the board here. Sorry for using a white paper, don't have a board right now. So this axis over here is for confidence. And over here is competence. When you start here, it's 0. Somewhere in the middle we say average. And towards the end we say expert. So how do you come out of your Dunning and Kruger if you are stuck by Dunning and Kruger effect? For people who think that they know it all, but they really don't know. But at times it becomes very difficult to explain them, but it needs little time, right? So to understand who they are, they'll be like very high on confidence, but the competence will be near to 0. That's where your people with the DNK effect will be. And in order to come out of the zone, the only thing that can help is work hard. Learn more about that topic. Learn more about that subject. And if you learn more about that subject, that's when you become your subject matter expert. And how does the graph look like? Because the more you study about a subject, the more you understand how much you don't know. Right? So your competence level increases as you're studying. So it doesn't go like this. Because the more you're studying, you're understanding how much you don't know, and hence your confidence is going to go down a bit. And then there'll be a position which is generally marked at the average, where you would be like, I don't know a lot. You will be around the average section of the people. And then your confidence starts building as you're studying more about the subject, and then you reach that point of expert, and you're no more under DNK effect. So study, read more, whatever subject you think you are good at, try to figure out the scope of that subject, right? Classic example, when you begin photography, right? We all did. Myself, I started photography, and what happened? I got a camera and I started taking photos, doing some Photoshop, and I would think, oh, I'm a photographer. Started a page, started sharing here and there, started participating in competitions, and then later on realized that I know nothing about it. Because when I looked up and I saw there were professional photographers and the way they are taking photographs, and then the amount of settings that they are doing, I don't do anything. It's just set on auto and tick, 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 tick. That's not photography. That's just, yeah, I'm able to take photos, but not really photography. So if I have to become a photographer, a good one, I have to study about it, right? So if I have to become a subject matter expert on photography, I need to study that subject, start working on it, practicing it, and then one day I'll become an expert on photography. But not now, not today. I may be an expert on something else, but not photography. So that's what we call Dunning and Kruger, and that's how you can come out of Dunning and Kruger effect. So I would say study hard, pick up the subject that you want to be an expert on, or the subject that you feel that you're best at right now. Pick up that subject, try to widen the scope of that subject and see how much you really know today and how much scope is there to learn more. And that's the day when you will feel that you are the subject matter expert of it. So, you're watching Free Stuff. My name is Ravi Verma. Catch you later. Bye now.